good morning. Alright, so here we are. Let's see what your current energy is. I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm sorry in advance that it probably won't be a super long reading. I know y'all just love to hear me go on. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I did want to do a check-in though. I did want to at least get something to you guys. So I hope you're doing well. Let's find out what your journey is like. Let's find out what Spirit wants you to know moving forward. It's been a wild ride the last few years, so I can only imagine what you're feeling. This is some strong ass energy. Okay. So we have Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords is the card of heartbreak. It's the card of being emotionally just shattered. Five of, right? And that's showing up in reverse. So I feel that you're healing from this. Sorry, I'm fucking up my altar cloth. So I feel the energy that you're healing from this, right? You're healing from a heartbreak. With the Five of Cups in reverse. Five of Cups being emotionally drained or depleted, feeling used, feeling hurt, right? She's crying, she's left out in the cold, she's just like, fuck. And so that's also in reverse. So both of these cards indicate that you're healing from like some sort of separation or heartbreak. With the Six of Cups in reverse, I feel that you do what you can to like not really dwell on the memory of, you know, who broke your heart. It's like you're trying really hard to just move on from this energy, trying to like trying to rise above it, right? And with the Muse of the Muse of Materials tells me that you're being guided to like really find your abundance, right? It's kind of like saying like, you know, Spirit's guiding you along the path to see, you know, Spirit's not just guiding you, but they're protecting you, right? Watching over you, making sure that like, you know, certain karmic conditions had to come to an end, right? So that you could be guided to your emotional and material abundance. So this is some heavy energy. This is like really addressing, I feel like you're being called to kind of address your feelings because they are valid. You know, don't try to repress everything. Sometimes you need to feel it. Sometimes you need to acknowledge it so that that shit doesn't happen again. Okay, so we have the Awakening card. I really love that energy. The Awakening tells me that whatever you've gone through has really kind of forced an awakening upon you, right? With the Four of Materials, and part of your awakening was learning how like well off you could be without others, like in your own independent energy, the way that you survive, the way that you make do, right? It's like showing you that you have it in you to accomplish a lot. You've never needed to rely on anybody else for that. With the Empress showing up, Aries energy, this is telling me that you're an artist or a creator. It's like you bring worlds to life. Um, and so I do feel that, like, in what you create on your own, it's almost like other people impede on it. You know, when you get too distracted with certain, like, relationships that come with a lot of, you know, drama or demands or whatever, and it's kind of saying that you needed your freedom to accomplish what you need to accomplish. I am fucking up this altar cloth. I need a new one. I feel like I always fuck up my altar cloths. But yes, anyway. Yeah, you're awakening to how well off you are by yourself. I mean, look at this abundant ass energy. This baller ass, creative ass energy, right? And flowers in tarot represent abundance, right? And we see hella flowers here and hella flowers here. And just the energy that you're coming out of from being hurt, you know, to really working towards your healing and your mastery of yourself and being independent as fuck, right? This is really how the universe shows you what you're made of, what you're capable of, what you can accomplish. And it really shows you that you don't, and though it could be, you know, a harsh lesson, like, you don't need to have certain connections to make that work, right? Yeah, Ten of Swords, the ending of that cycle, it feels like it's still kind of ending. It feels like there's still that remnant of the feelings, and with the Ten of Swords showing up the way that it is, it's like literally putting those swords right through, right? Finalizing something, really. And that's what I'm hearing. Like, you know, nailed to the coffin. Like, there's a cycle that's closing out and it will not be reopened, right? With the Ace of Pentacles showing up right after, this is like a blessing in disguise. This brings about the life that you dream about, right? The life that you crave, the life that brings your spirit to life, right? I see just abundance flowing out of you because you're just a creative individual, right? And so taking on this new cycle, you know, you have to unlearn, you know, your survival patterns from the past, the things that you needed for survival, like, those no longer serve you because you're no longer in survival mode. Now you're in stabilizing mode. So, you know, embrace that energy, right? Embrace the change, because the change is going to be very fruitful for you. Strength, you might be a Leo. Have Leo in your chart somewhere. Also, you might just be a strong motherfucker. Right? Because, yeah, that strength card really comes out when we start learning about our real strength, what we can accomplish, what we can overcome. Like, you know, things that you probably thought you would die without somebody in the past, and, you know, the Spirit's like, see, you didn't die. It's like, in fact, you do better without feeling like you need somebody, right? It's like when you get rid of that energy of need, then you're no longer, then your connections are no longer like, oh, I need this person in my life to fill this void or to play this role, whatever. It's like then you can relax into your connections and be like, yo, we're just here enjoying each other's company, and it's not so extra, right? Um, you're learning about your own emotional strengths. So I mean, that lion just looks fierce as fuck, right? And that's the energy you're really showing up in. Just unstoppable as fuck. That's the thing. Situations that you thought would destroy you, right, are actually the things that really empower you and show you how strong you really are, you know? So the Muse of Emotions showed up sideways. So this could be in regards to, well, I mean, it is the twins with their heart chakras open, right? This could be in regards to like a twin flame or soul connection. With the Eight of Wands in reverse, with the Five of Wands in reverse. I feel that with the Five of Wands in reverse, right? Just finally coming to a sense of like finding your peace. I feel that you don't want to introduce more chaos or confusion or any kind of like energy like that into your life, right? With the Eight of Wands in reverse being the Minor Arcana Chariot card, right? It's like you don't want to repeat the patterns of the past, right? And so I feel this kind of reluctance towards even connecting with a twin flame. Because right now you're finding yourself and you're finding your independence, and that's totally fair, right? It's like you choose when the right time is for you to be in your connections, like nobody can force that upon you, and you shouldn't feel like there's an obligation just because there's a soul tie either. Because there's not, like, you can 100% like be like, soul tie or not, I'm not ready for that shit or whatever. Okay, is there anything else the Spirit wants to tell you? Always. Yeah. So With the Two of Pentacles in reverse, this is like having made a decision here. Like, you may have made a decision not to, like, have serious relationships or embark on a new romantic journey, right? With the Ace of Wands being in reverse here, we've got, passion and new beginning in reverse. So it's kind of like you've made up your mind that that's not something that you're ready for. With the Page of Wands in reverse, that's also something like pursuing something like that is also something that you're not ready for. Like, you're not ready to accept it, you're not ready to pursue it. You're just kind of like working on, grounding your energy. You don't want to end up in another karmic situation that eats you alive, right? I see heavy energy of you just like working on yourself for a while and really giving yourself love and kind of living in the energy of not forcing anything, right? You're just kind of like letting it kind of flow, like letting life kind of do its shit, which is good. You're focused on, your abundance, your creations, the strength that it took for you to overcome, all the hurt and loss from the past. So it's like, yeah, through this awakening, it's totally fair that, like, you would need to recover your spiritual stamina before having another connection. If that's even something that you want to pursue, right? With the Page of Wands in reverse, I see that you don't even want to pursue something like that because it feels like a lot. Knight of Pentacles. They say the best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money. That's what I want. That's what you want. That's fair. Right now, yeah, I feel like your financial foundation is a big importance to you right now. And also with your creations, running wild, I feel like abundance is coming, right? This is the only Knight of Pentacles in any of my decks that's actually moving, right? And so I do see abundance heading its way toward you. I do like that. Like, I see that you are winning in other ways, and you're winning in strong ways because it takes a lot to, like, heal and become stronger and become a force of your own, right? And I feel the Lovers showed up, right? Inevitably that might happen, but I feel right now, I feel that your big focus is on building yourself. The funny part about this, though, is that's literally how you draw in your twin flame, right? It's like you're accidentally tapping into twin flame water, and it's because you're loving yourself, right? And your twin flame will respond to the love that you give to yourself, right? The way you honor yourself, the way you heal yourself, your self-talk, even. All that shit. Like, they energetically, it's quantum entanglement. They energetically, like, respond to that shit. And you can kind of see that represented in how their heads are, like, lit up. Like, they're in a conversation silently. And there's angel wings, right? This is divinely guided. And it's kind of like that energy of, like, right when you're not looking for it, that's when it shows up, right? And right when you're like, oh, I've got all this shit, that's when it shows up. And then you enter into the cycle of the twin flame. But I see the way that you handled your karmic situation so beautifully. And, I feel that somebody who's willing to go through this awakening to really grow themselves and focus on their creations, their creativity, their hobbies, and all that. Somebody who's that intellectually minded that you're not just thinking of hopping into the next relationship and stuff. I feel that, whomever your twin flame is, it, should feel honored. That they're connected to somebody like you. You know, somebody who goes through the healing, that goes through um, the hard shit, you know, seemingly by yourself, but I mean, you have a whole squad of spirits surrounding you, being like cheering you on. So I know you covered, right? Um, I just feel that, you know, this is how it works, right? When you're not looking, that's when they show up. And how you handle that situation, you know, in due time is going to be completely up to you. You know, like I said, there's no obligation in these things. And honestly, I feel that what is meant for you, you can't fuck it up. It's always going to be meant for you, right? Like, so, I mean, don't try to fuck it up, but like, you know, I feel that if you're just not ready for that connection, then there will be a better time for that connection, you know. Um, it'll show up when you're ready for it, I feel. Um, and then how you handle the twin flame journey, that's going to say a lot about your growth and how much you've come to love yourself through this process of facing hurt and, you know, having these cycles, these brutal ass cycles. Like, this is some brutal shit, right? What you've been through, like some fucking brutal ass. Let me pull that shit up for you, right? You've been through some shit. I see this, right? You don't even want to think about it no more. And that's why I feel that, you know, with your awakening, with the way that life kind of plays out, like the right person is gonna step in at the right time if you want them to. You know, if it ends up not being something that you want, that's cool too. But like, I feel that there's a reason that you had to experience the karmic and learn how to love from not experiencing love. It's kind of like that song by Tiger's Jaw, where he's like, I learned how to love when I was alone, and I learned how to be a friend when I didn't have any friends. And I'm paraphrasing really bad, but that's basically the gist of what he's saying. And it's like, sometimes you have to learn what is right by experiencing the wrong thing, you know? If that makes sense, right? It like gets you ready for, you know, you know. Jeez. Finally. Okay. Bagalamukhi. She arrests the flow of negativity, particularly that of our own making. She transforms our karma from that which hinders our joy to that which can create true happiness. As you seek refuge in her, you are protected from gossip, slander, and any form of negativity from others. A positive turning of the tide of good fortune is predicted. Dakshina Kali. She appears fierce, and yet she is benign. Her oracle brings the message that a situation which may frighten or intimidate you is well within your capacity to handle. No matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be at this time, it shall eventually be a little bit more than a passing memory, and not have any negative bearing on your future. I like that. Like, you're bound to be fruitful and abundant, right? Spirit is guiding you straight to that, straight to your abundance, straight to your happiness. I mean, you're finding the happiness within, and then, you know, and you really see, you'll really find like how you create your own reality, you know, with even just these micro decisions in your life, right? So be pensive. But yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.